You join me this morning on a very wintry January morning. The lake behind me was actually frozen solid a couple of hours ago, but the fishery staff here got a boat out there and broke the ice. I've managed to get here for a couple of hours where I can enjoy the sunshine and just enjoy being on the bank, and I'm going to be fishing for anything that swims. All I've got with me is half a pint of maggots, and I'm pretty confident we're going to get a few bites. Well, I don't want to be wasting any time today, so I'm going to go straight to the area where I think there might be some fish there. I'm going to be fishing with a maggot feeder, so I've just got a free running 20 gram maggot feeder. That's just stocked with a rubber stopper, and then I've got a 50 centimetre hook length, which might seem a little bit long for a shallow water like this. It's only probably 3.5, 4 feet deep, but I'm confident that there might be one or two fish up in, up in the water. There are eyed in here and roach, so I can always shorten that hook length if it is too long. That is 0.11 hook length to a size 16 MXC1, so it's a medium hook, but it's still strong enough to land any big fish that we might be fortunate enough to hook. But initially I'm just going to fish for bites. So I'm going to kick off with a nice visual hook bait. There's 2 white maggots that are going to stand out really well in this very clear water. And I'm clipped up, and the spot that I'm going to fish to is in between the 2nd and 3rd floating raft. These are rafts that are tethered by chains, so they do move slightly, but only only a few inches either way. So that spot there is going to remain clear. So that's the bit that I'm going to be targeting to start with. Might take a few casts to get 1 or 2 fish there, get a few maggots in. I'm not going to feed too much, just a sprinkling of maggots. I'm just going to have a nice, real patient approach, and we'll just keep swapping hook baits. I can put single maggot on. I've got 2 white ones on. I can obviously switch to red as well. Right in between those 2 islands. Like I say, it's only shallow, 4 feet deep I would say, and that is it. Just going to put the rod down, pour myself a cup of coffee, and enjoy that sunshine. That sun on us possibly won't help the fishing, but it'll certainly make it a lot more comfortable temperature wise for us sitting here. The most important part of winter fishing. One thing I am going to be doing is that this area down here, I love to leave an area of the swim where it's quiet for later on in the session. We've got an overhanging bush here, as you can see, and then it goes on to some reeds here. It looks really fishy, so all I'm doing is every half an hour is just that many maggots, 20 maggots or so, I'm going to put in just like that every half an hour. I haven't got a catapult with me today, but I want to feed that, so every half hour I'm going to put some maggots there for later on in the session. I think that could be a great holding point. As you can see, that's probably 10 metres down the bank from me. That could be a great holding point for any F1s and any carp. Right at the end of the session, I'll just be dropping a bomb over the top of that, because I don't want to disturb any fish that might be there. Yeah, that's a knock. Let's have him. Well, it's taken over an hour to get a bite, and that was a really positive bite. Could it be a roach? Let's have a look. Sounds like a hybrid, that one, isn't it? Beautiful. That's avoided the blank. Double maggot, as you can see, just hooked in the bottom, middle of the bottom lip. Lovely little fish. Fantastic condition. Hopefully that might mean that they've arrived. I've shortened that hook length down slightly now, so now it's actually 35 centimetres now, so it's a little bit shorter. And hopefully that might be a sign that 1 or 2 have arrived now. Like I say, it's taken a good hour to get a bite. That sun's just gone behind the clouds now, which could help. But it will mean it's going to get a little bit cooler now. Just on that same spot between those 2, between the 2nd and 3rd raft. And I've just been leaving it in 10 minutes just to get a feel for if there are actually any fish out there. Just cast that in and it's gone straight round. Who's a slightly better fish, this one? Couldn't believe it. I just put the rod on the rest. It's gone straight round. Could be an eyed, this one, with it going around so quickly. I thought it's coincided with that sun going in. Every time the sun goes in, that's when I've had a bite. It's just come back out again now, but that's because it's so windy, it's moving the clouds really quickly. Let's have a look what this one is. Looks like an hide. Or is it a chub? Let's have a look. It's an hide. There we go. Bottom lip again. It's freezing cold as you expect. A lot of that ice has actually, it's receded now as it's melted. That's a nice chunky fish. Lots of those fish in here. They love maggots. Seem to be getting one or two indications now. Like I said, that one was straight away. As soon as I cast in, as soon as the feeder at the bottom, it went straight round. It could be a sign that, you know, there's a few maggots built up there now, which has attracted a few fish. Or it could just be time of day, which is important at any time of year, but even more so at this time of year, as it just gets that little bit warmer and later in the day. Go back to that same spot now. I'm still clipped up on that same spot. That sun's a bit tricky casting into. There we go. That range is about 20. I think I just might have had another knot then. That looked like a bite. I just looked at the spot where I'd cast then because the sun was kind of in my face. I wanted to make sure it had gone in the right spot, which it had. But while I was looking at that, I think I had a quick knock. I'm going to leave it. There are two maggots on, so even if one's gone, I've still got a hook bait on. But plus I want to give those maggots time to empty. Trouble is, if I retrieve that now, those maggots won't have had time to empty on the spot. They'll actually empty on the way back to me. And that'll obviously spread bait over a wider area, which I want to avoid. Yeah, I'm sure that was a bite, but I'll just give it a couple of minutes just to give those maggots a chance to empty before I reel in. Yeah, that's a knot. Let's have him. Oh, nothing there. Maggots aren't touched, but there's definitely indications of fish there, so I'm going to watch for a quick bite this time. I'm going to watch as soon as it goes in. Squinting against the sun. That's it. Right, see if we get a bite straight away this time. See how that sun just keeps going behind those clouds. That can only help. You really notice a difference in temperature. Sitting here, you can feel it suddenly drop, but if it means we're going to get a few bites by that happening, then bring it on. Every 30 minutes I'm still feeding down this right hand margin, just past that overhanging bush. I'll be dropping on that in the last hour with double maggot on and a tiny little bomb, really discreetly, and hopefully there might be one or two fish settled over that bait in that quiet area. Well, that little flurry of bites soon ended as soon as that sun came back out again. I thought he was going to get going, but it's not looking that way at the moment. I'm still loose feeding down here, down to this right. That's been kept really quiet down there, so I'll be going on that in a moment. I'm just going to put a little bomb on and just underarm it down there because I don't want to disturb any fish if there are any there. But I'm just going to have a couple more casts on this just to give those fish a chance to see if they have rocked up. I thought the sun was going to disappear behind some cloud, but it's not. It's looks like it's staying out. But I'm going to have a couple more casts. I'm just going to try a single maggot now, scale down even more. I'm not getting any line bites or anything, so there's not a lot of indications that there are even fish there. But at this time of year, certainly going into the last hour, that can be the best part of the day. Well, fish for an hour and a half now with a maggot feeder, and obviously I've only caught a couple of small fish. I've had a couple of tiny indications. For the amount of maggots that I've actually put out there, there's no way that lot could have got eaten, otherwise I would have caught more fish. So I don't want to push it now. I'm going to be coming off this line in a moment. And possibly that feeder going in has just been spooking any fish that might have been anywhere near. So all I've done now is I've just put a tiny little bomb on. That looks like a bite. How about that? I've fished all that time without a fish. and I've just taken the maggot feeder off and put a little bomb on, gone on that spot. So maybe they wanted the maggots, but the feeder's been scaring them. Double white maggot again, and as you saw, that was only in a few seconds, so possibly, whilst I did want the maggots, the feeder might have just been scaring them, but it's whatever you do. This time of year, little changes can get you extra fish, and in matches, that's what makes a difference, you know. Let's have a look what this is. I'm guessing it might be an hide, but I haven't seen it yet. Can't really see because of the sun, to be honest, but he's a good fish. It's a perch, look at that. Well, I said we were fishing for anything, and that's what we've got. How about that for a perch? That's why maggots are brilliant, you know, this time of year. They're going to catch you anything. Every species eats maggots. Look at the size of his mouth. Look at that. That's how he sucks the smaller fish in. Just tucked in the corner of its mouth. Beautiful fish that, well over a pound, pound and a half. Very cold, as you'd expect. So let's just see if that was a bit of a freak. Off you go, mate. Or whether the bomb is just a lot more discreet. I'll keep the same hook bait on, just double white maggot. Like I say, I was just about to come off this line and have a look down this margin, but obviously I've got to have a couple more casts now. See if we can get one. I'm sure there's some maggots out there on the bottom what's been building up now, so I'll just see if there's more than one of those fish hanging on that feed. And that was an early quick bite again, as you saw, so I'll be ready for this straight away. That's a 30cm hook length now, so it has still got a bit of slow fall. Those white maggots stand out really brightly in this clear water. I'll just cast that back out again, and it's gone straight round. Another quick bite. Unbelievable how just putting that bomb on has just transformed it. And the great thing, what I love about instant reactions, is that it's showing you that the fish were already there. You know, it's not like you change something and you have to wait an hour before you catch on it. You know, the tip goes straight round, and it just shows you that those fish were obviously there. You know, they haven't swum from the other side of the pond. Let's have a look what this one is. We don't know what to expect now, do we? I'm going to go with hide again, but I was wrong last time, wasn't I? Could be a chub, but I think it might be. Let's have a look. You can't see properly because that's sun. What we got this time? Hide. We've got an hide this time. We're going for the species cup. Another good fish. Over a pound. He's got plenty of fight in him. Look at him. Hooked in the bottom lip. Double white maggot again. Another very quick bite, as you saw. Well, I'm going to finish on that fish now, I think. I can't wait any longer. I'm going to have a look down this margin. So I'm going to stick to double white maggot. But what I am going to do is just move the feeder arm over to the right hand side, because I'll have a much better angle on the tip if I do that. There we go. Just alter that a little bit. I think that's going to be okay. That's better there. I can put the rod in that position, which means it's going to be a nice angle for going down there. And I've got the stopper on it there at the end, which means that if we do get anything a bit meaty, it's not going to drag the rod in. Perfect. It's a good 5-10 minutes since I fed down there. So I'm just going to see if I can underarm it nicely without causing any disturbance. There we go. It's a bit too far, but I'll drop that back a little bit. I'm sure if there's any fish down there, we'll see indications on the tip. I'll just lower that feeder arm down a bit. It's a perfect time of day. It's a perfect time of day now to be going down this sort of a line at any time of year. You can see the sun is just starting to come down behind the trees now. So this would normally be the last hour of a session or of a match. And I've won matches even through the ice when pole fishing down the margins. As long as you leave it late enough, you know, you just got to be realistic about the number of fish you're expecting to catch. If you only think you're going to catch one, or you only need one, then obviously you can leave it really late, the last 15-20 minutes before you even go down that line. There's a little fast indication there, like lightning. Looks like a little fish knock. As you know, in Maggot, it could be anything. It looks really nice and quiet down there. It's really been left undisturbed all day. Well, how about that? I've got a funny feeling I just knocked the camera off, and I've got a funny feeling I've foul up this. I think I might have dropped the bomb on top of a fish that was obviously already over the feed. I just had to change the battery in the camera, so I didn't get, I'll call it a bite, but I honestly think I've just dropped the bomb on the back of one. So I think this is foul hooked, I'm pretty sure. I want to take my time with him, see if we can land him. I've only got 0.11 hook length on, so, and he's going out there towards those islands, and I've got to watch, because those rafts, I keep calling them islands, those rafts are tethered, which means, you know, you don't want your line going against anything like that, certainly when it's only 0.11, but we'll see if we can. I think he's getting the better of me at the moment. If I can just get him into open water, I don't mind just taking my time with him and playing it. I think it's just, it has come away now. I've got to watch that other raft, this one here. Let me just turn that way, try and turn him. Oh no, he's come off. I don't know if it's broke me or whether the hook's just pulled. Let's have a look. No, the tiny blob of, that could be a bit of a scale. It's definitely foul hooked. Well, that might have ruined the chances of getting anything down that margin now, after all that disturbance. In fact, there's quite a bit of slime up the line as well. That's definitely foul hooked. Oh, that's a shame. It would have been interesting to see what that was. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to refeed it. Just going to put another 15 maggots or so down there. Just give it 5 minutes. Just give it 5 minutes. Give the fish a chance to hopefully go back over it. Have a cup of coffee and I'll drop back on it. Minute rest, and I've gone straight over the top of it. That wasn't quite the margin munter or the match winner I was after, but very welcome. Every bite's welcome on days like this. That sun's gone down now behind the trees, so we're down to the last couple of casts now. Again, what we got this time? Let's net him. It's not a big fish, but let's net him. We don't want to go damaging him. What's this one? Could be another hide, I think. Yep, small hide. Lovely, really cold. Small fish line anyway. Whether it's the time of day or not, I don't know. But sometimes those quieter areas like that, you know, that can be where smaller fish shoal up. But it's just great to be getting a few bites. And another one. Oh, like peas in a pod. Nice little roach. And another one. Well, it's always nice to finish on a fish. I think you'll probably agree that this is probably, you know, the toughest time of year. When you've got lakes that have got ice on them, they're always going to fish hard. The biggest thing for me today, what I've really learnt, is how important it was when I switched to a bomb. You know, it made a massive difference. It just completely transformed the peg, and I did it with literally only a few minutes to go before it was time to go down this margin, so I'm a little bit A little bit upset I'd not done that sooner, because I think that would have transformed the session, but that's definitely been something I've learned today. As regards this margin line, well, I think we were really unlucky that when I did go on it, I've dropped the rig right on the back of a fish, which, you know, that was the bonus fish of the day. It was foul hooked and sadly we lost it, but I did try setting that line up again, and when I went back on that line, those small roach had moved in. So as regards numbers of fish and bites, the margin line's been absolutely bang on. It's been a great thing to do, but sadly it just didn't produce the bonus fish. So a little bit, if we had a little bit more luck, we should have landed that first fish, that bonus fish, and that is what can win your matches this time of year. But it's been a very interesting session. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing it with you. If you have, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos from this channel, then don't forget to hit subscribe just there. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.